Dear viewers, the currency markets are in a turbulence. Every currency other than dollar is struggling against the dollar. GBP, Euro, Yen have all fallen by more than 10% against the dollar since the beginning of the year. What's happening with the Indian rupee? Indian rupee has also come down against the dollar but hasn't fallen as much as the currencies of rest of the developed world. What is happening here? What is making the Indian rupee resilient compared to the developed market currencies? In this episode, I am going to examine what are the factors which are making the rupee resilient and why the Indian Reserve Bank is able to defend rupee beautifully well. This is NRI Money Clinic for you, and I am Dr. Chandrakant Bhatt, your financial guide for a happy living.
NRI Money Clinic. No hype, just the right advice.
Dear viewers, rupee to dollar equation was stuck at 75 rupees per dollar approximately for last 3 odd years, starting from 2018 onwards, or 2019 to be precise. It is stuck at about 75 rupees per dollar. Come 2022, what happened was US started increasing the interest rates, as a result of which the dollars which were spread across the globe started coming back to US, resulting in the fall of different currencies against the dollar. Indian rupee too got affected. The equation which was at 75 rupees per dollar today is hovering around 80 rupees per dollar. While the rupee has fallen from 75 to 80, it's a fall. But when you compare the fall of rupee against the other currencies, GBP, Euro, Yen, and several other currencies, the fall of rupee is much lesser. Rupee hasn't even fallen by even 10% at the time of recording this video, whereas Japanese yen, the euro, GBP have all fallen more than 10%. In fact, there was a time when euro was at 1.4 times the dollar. That means 1 euro was equal to $1.4. Today, $1 is more or less equal to 1 euro. That is the kind of fall euro has seen over many years now. It has fallen by more than 10% during this turbulence period. While several factors can be accounted for this resilience of rupee in the turbulence of currency market, there are few things which stand out, which made rupee withstand the onslaught of dollar. One thing which stands out in this is deft handling by Reserve Bank of India. It did a commendable job of defending the rupee against this turbulence. Several actions taken by the Reserve Bank of India helped the rupee to remain resilient and did not allow rupee to go through a free fall. Let's examine the different actions taken by RBI which helped the rupee. Action number 1. Reserve Bank has been quite proactive in anticipation of this turbulence coming, and it started many actions much earlier. It also took some of the temporary measures to defend the rupee. Many of these actions are far-sighted and they will remain here permanently and over a period of time that will help rupee to stabilize or to grow in stature in the international market. The first action, internationalization of rupee. Global trade primarily happens by Forex, which is dollars. Now the world is learning slowly to wean itself away from dollar trade and try to do the trade from bilateral currencies. Maybe India and China can deal in rupee and yuan, India and Russia can deal in ruble and rupee, like that between India and Japan, yen and rupee. Reserve Bank consciously is trying to internationalize the rupee trade. Now it has permitted the export and import could be invoiced, denominated and settled in the Indian rupee, which means to say you can invoice everything in the Indian rupee, you can receive payments in the rupee, which means to say you do not require dollar to conduct your foreign trade. Earlier, the invoices had to be drawn in dollar terms. That means you must receive payments in dollars and you must make payment in the dollars. By internationalizing the rupee, you are allowing rupee to become popular in the world and trade can happen by payment or receipt of rupees. The second action the Reserve Bank of India has taken to internationalize the rupee is Vostro and Nostro accounts. Vostro and Nostro accounts are Latin words. It means your account and our account. If a bank of another country is having an account in an Indian bank denominated in Indian rupees, it is known as Vostro account, or it means it's your account in our bank. Likewise, if India has similar account in that country, it is known as Nostro account, or it means our account. When two countries have got Vostro and Nostro accounts, the trade can be done by bypassing the SWIFT system using the two currencies of these two countries. For example, if India has to sell something to Russia or Russia has to sell something to India, it can be settled in Indian rupees and in rubles. So this will help to bypass the dollar. When this becomes more and more popular, the demand for dollar comes down and the fall of rupee against the dollar will be limited. Reserve Bank anticipated this particular problem well in advance. It took these measures, and as a result, the rupee did not fall like other currencies. One another measure taken by Reserve Bank is it allowed the Indian banks to give the businesses in India a loan in foreign currency, which means to say earlier the Reserve Bank had permitted the Indian banks to lend to export related activities only. But now Reserve Bank has allowed these banks to lend in foreign currency for a wider set of customers. That means instead of taking loans in Indian rupees, the Indian businesses can take loan in a foreign currency as well. This relaxation is helping the Indian banks to draw from the dollars and increase bringing dollars into India, bringing down the pressure on the forex. Internationalization of rupee, Vostro Nostro accounts, allowing the Indian banks to lend to Indian businesses in foreign currency loans are very futuristic. These are permanent changes which will remain here, and this will have a bearing on dollar to rupee equation for many years to come. Reserve Bank of India, apart from taking these futuristic actions, they have also taken action which is the need of the day. To save the rupee from turbulence, it took some of the short-term measures. So what are the short-term measures the RBI has taken? It has removed the ceiling on interest rates that can be given to FCNRB deposits as well as NRI deposits. If the banks feel fit, it can fit an interest rate that suits them and they can attract NRI deposit. Whether the NRIs deposit in the NRI deposits in INR or in FCNRB deposits, whenever that happens, there is movement of Forex coming into the country. So by allowing the ceiling to be removed by these banks to attract these deposits, RBI is attracting more money to be brought into India in the form of Forex currency. But there is a ceiling on this. This ceiling ends on October 31st. Likewise, this interest rate will be applicable only for fresh money which is coming into India. Reserve Bank has also taken one another short-term measure. That short-term measure is whenever a bank generates FCNRB deposits or the NRI deposits up till November 4th, for the incremental money which is coming into the country, it has relaxed the CRR and the SLR limits. CRR or cash reserve ratio or SLR, the statutory liquidity ratio, is the money that the banks have to set aside without lending it to the general public. So this will have a bearing on the profitability of the banks. By allowing the banks to set aside the CRR and SLR limits for the incremental money which is coming into India during this period till November 4th, the Reserve Bank of India has allowed the banks to use this money to lend it to the general public, which will prop up its profitability. So it will make the banks proactively go and attract the forex during this particular period. One another short-term measure taken by Reserve Bank of India is to allow foreign portfolio investors to invest in the short-term debt instruments in India like G-Secs or corporate bonds. In the normal course of time, they have limitations of 30%. For the monies which are coming in between July 22 and October 31st, 2022, RBI has relaxed this 30% limits for the short-term investments in the G-Secs and the corporate bonds. The net result of all these actions taken by Reserve Bank of India helped the Indian rupee to remain resilient, to fall lesser than the other currencies, and to create less problems for India in its forex management. If we examine what happened in the forex kitty of India in the last 1 year, the forex kitty fell only by $84 billion. It had a peak valuations of around $650 billion. At the time of recording this video, the forex kitty of India was in the range of 554 odd billion dollars. So it's not something which has depleted badly. Reserve Bank of India is able to manage the turbulence of currency markets very, very well. Apart from these actions taken by Reserve Bank of India, there are several other factors which are helping the rupee to float very well against the dollar, as well as an opportunity for an international community of NRIs to invest in India. In my next video, I'm going to talk to you about the fundamental changes that are happening in India, which might give you an opportunity to in India and reap good benefits in the years ahead. Dear viewers, I am a practitioner of finance. I help people reach their life goals. I am a mutual fund distributor. I help people design their retirement portfolios. I help people build their portfolios in a wise and safe manner. Countless people across the globe make use of our services to build their portfolios in a beautiful and safe manner. If you are a person who is looking out to invest in India, be it through mutual fund or other investments, you can make best use of our services. Our number is shown here on the screen. Through a WhatsApp message, you can reach to us, and one of the financial guides who is working with us will help you to build a beautiful portfolio to reap best benefits out of the India growth story. Why delay now? Send that message now. Dear viewers, hope the video that I have done today would have helped you to understand what actions the authorities are taking in India, particularly the Reserve Bank of India, in defending the Indian rupee, and why investing in India is a better option at this point of time than investing elsewhere in the world. If it helped you to understand all these fine points of rupee dollar equations, please like this video. If you are a person who is watching my channel for the first time, or if you are yet to subscribe for the channel, please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and relatives. Thank you very much for watching this episode on NRI Money Clinic. I shall be back with you with yet another useful topic in yet another video very, very soon.
Press the bell icon for more details and subscribe our channel.